my wreath shop. I'm Julie Samako with Southern Charm Wreaths, and in this video, of course, I've never done it before. I just love going on live and never doing anything before, so I can figure it out. I'm going to make a floral arrangement using this tool caddy, or an old-fashioned toolbox. So we'll see how that turns out. As you come in, I want to welcome you and comment and tell me where are you from and what are you doing today. It's Thursday, so what are you doing on Thursday? And I'm so glad you're joining me today. I try to go, just so you know, I try to go live every Thursday around 7:30 p.m. If there's a holiday or something, I might move it up, but typically I'm here every Thursday, so I'm so happy that you joined me. What I'm going to do as you're coming in and commenting where you're from, I'm going to quickly try to load it up on my computer over here so I can see your comments. I'm just going to see if this is going to work. We've been having problems with the iPad not working, so I wanted to see if this would work. Let's see. Hi, Christina. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yay! Thanks, Shelly, for sharing. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing, you guys. Hi, Heidi. Okay, so this looks like it's working really well. Cool. Yay. I'm going to try this. Let's see. Okay. I have a new format, so I'm going to have to get used to it. All right, so if you're just joining me, I'm Julie Samako with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. I'm also a business coach and mentor to creative entrepreneurs through my Success Circle membership group. And in this video, like I said, we're going to decorate an old-fashioned tool caddy or toolbox. This one I purchased at Michael's, so I would recommend, if you're really big onto, going junking, or what do you call those, when you go like looking for junk and, oh my gosh, what's the terminology? I can't remember. You're going to yard sales and stuff like that. That's not the junking part, but when you go to the older junky places that have repurposed, stuff like wood and pallets and stuff like that, a lot of times you can find these there, and you could use them. You could use those and, pay a lot less than probably what I paid at Michael's. But they come in different sizes, and you can put a lot of things in there. I've seen these real popular on Pinterest, and that's what I thought maybe you guys would, I thought maybe I'd try one. My Christmas tree in my living room is, I'm not sure if you saw it on my Facebook page. If you haven't, you need to click on videos, and it has it has this Christmas plaid ribbon. Let's see if you can see it. Yep. So it's got this red and black in it, and it's also got a lot of like natural, like cardinals and pine cones and frosted, limbs, and a little bit of phlox limbs. And so I just thought that this would really look cute on my table in front of my sofa. What do you call that? A coffee table. So I thought that would look cute on my coffee table, and that's when I picked out some things that I have laying around the wreath shop that I think will look real pretty inside of it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get started making this. Now, the first thing I did was this. Do you see this? Let me see if I can step back. So you see this. This is a piece of styrofoam, and it's about, what, 4 inches thick? And I don't even know how long it was. I mean, it was a lot longer. It was probably like this long, okay? And I've just keep cutting pieces off of this. Now, this is a good tip if you're trying to learn floral design. You can cut a piece of this off and use it just as itself and practice. That's what I like to do. So there's a little tip for you. All right, so let's get started. So I've done all the cutting, and I cut it to the size, and the only thing I did was I put it up there like this, and I took a Sharpie and I just drew the line. And then I came back and used a steak knife. This is an old steak knife I use only in the wreath shop. We don't eat with it. And I cut the, you know, on the Sharpie line to make the cutout. And now I'm going to, it wouldn't fit at first, and so you have to keep shimming, you know, cutting little pieces off of the edge to make sure it goes down in there. And then if you end up cutting off too much, you can use these extra pieces and shimmy them down inside of there, and it'll make it tighter. But I'll do that after I glue. Let me just make sure tell me if you can hear me okay. Shelly's saying yes, trash to treasures. That's what I was trying to think of. Terry, I don't think I'd go dumpster diving for them. I don't think they'll be there. Oklahoma in the house representing. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks. Okay, great. All right, everyone. Thank you. So I was just making sure you guys could hear me okay. Okay, let's see. All right. Now what I'm going to do is hot glue it in. Just make sure. Okay, cool. Hi, Michael. Hi, Michael. All right, so what I'm going to do is hot glue the bottom. I'm a little cramped in here. I've got, it looks like Hobby Lobby exploded in my garage, you guys. It's not even funny. So all I'm doing is, this is hot glue. I'm just going to run some on the bottom. I want it to stick pretty good. And do it on top of a mat, a utility mat like this, so that it doesn't, you know, burn your table or anything. Okay, and now I'm going to just stick this down in there real quick before it gets cooled off. And I'm just going to hold it there. And so remember, I told you I have these extra pieces, and I can just put them down in there to make it a little bit tighter fitting. Doesn't that sound awful? So I'm just going to stick those down in there. Do you see how I'm sticking them down on the sides? Just like that. And I've stuck one down here on the end because I cut it a little bit too short. Okay. And when that feels real secure, what you can do is go back with your knife and just trim them off. Try not to cut the wood. I hate that sound, you guys. All right. So that's in there pretty good. So it should look like this. Yay! All right, now I'm going to clean up this mess. And somebody, if you go see Santa anytime soon, you know, when next time you're sitting on Santa's lap, could you put in a good word for me and tell him, please, Santa, I want a shop vac for Christmas. All right, so if you could just tell Santa that, that'd be awesome. Because this is what I'm going to do right here. I'm just going to shove this in the floor. And also, make sure you use a rag when you're trying to get up your little pieces, because you know when you cut the wired ribbon, how there are little pieces of that wire that gets stuck in this mat, and then if you rub your hand over it, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. Okay, so that's there. Let me put that over here. All right, so the next thing we want to do is cover this up with some sheet moss. All right, so if you're just joining me, we're making a Christmas arrangement out of a tool, an old-fashioned tool caddy. So I've got the sheet moss right here. I'm just going to try to keep it as clean as possible. Let's see. All right. Somebody must be home because the dogs are going cray cray. All right, so that looks good right here. So I've laid it, I just lay it down right here, and you see how I have all this excess, and I'm gonna just cut that off with my scissors. It's okay if it overlaps a little bit. Another messy element to the arrangement. All right, so now when we have that, what we're going to do is use the floral pins. These look like I don't know, U-shaped. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they're U-shaped, and they're just the floral, you know, what you use for anchoring stuff down. And I'm going to use that. I don't want to hot glue. If you hot glue, it will put a barrier between on top of the styrofoam, and you won't be able to put any of your flower picks in. So you just want to use a few of these floral pins to anchor the sheet moss down. Thank you, Dina. Thanks, Susan. All right, so anchoring that, and then we're going to, I've got just a little bit of an area right here that I still need to cover up. So I'm just going to pull a little bit of that sheet moss off and cover that up right there. Whew, this is stinky. This is some stinky sheet moss. All right. So now this is what I have right there. Actually, let me put a little bit more on the ends because that's sticking up. Now, if you want the styrofoam to come up a little bit more, you know, you could put like an inch above the edge right here. You could have it come up a little bit, but then just keep in mind you're going to have to cover it up a little bit, you know, with more product. And so I'm just going to keep it flat. This is for my home, so I'm not going to use too much. I'm trying to use some leftover stuff. All right, so now let me clean this mess up. Welcome, Miranda. Welcome, welcome. We're making a flower arrangement out of an old-fashioned toolbox. I purchased it at Michael's, but you can get them at, you know, thrift stores, any of those older, you know, junk stores that repurposes, you know, tools and stuff like that. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I thought about just getting a lot of these, you know, green picks and sticking them down inside of there to fill it out. But then I thought, that's going to be a lot of picks. But what if I take an old garland, so if I take a garland that I had that I wasn't going to use this year and fluff it up a little bit, and what if I used that instead? So that's what I wanted to try out. So what this will do is it'll give me some greenery And might need more than one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it here and mark it, and then use some my wire cutters that I love, love, love these wire cutters. They cut like butter. They cut like butter. And I'm just going to cut the stem down. All right, and what I'm going to do, let's see if this will work. So I want this to be flat on the back. I want it to be flat so to lay, lay down. And I'm going to put it right in here. I'm going to see if this will work. I think this will be cute because it'll add like a base of greenery right there. Yay. And if you didn't cut quite enough off, I'm just going to bend it on the ends. All right, so I'm trying to decide if I need another one. Probably not. I think that's good. So let me put this out of the way. All right, so now the thing, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to stick this down in there. I don't think the floral pins are going to hold it, only because that's pretty thick, the base of that. Maybe if I put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom. I'm going to try that. Actually, let me get some wire. All right, so this is, geez, I don't even know what the gauge is. I think this is like 18 gauge or something like that. This is just some really thick wire, and I'm going to try to make my own pins out of it and see if that'll work. You following me, guys? Are you following me? Yeah, Tammy, that was a garland. That was a garland. The only thing about this computer is I can't see very many comments. Oh, wait, there we go. Hi, you could scroll down, duh. So this is a garland. Oh, this is going to work perfect. All right, so I'm going to just take the wire again and bend it to fashion my own pins. And I'll anchor it down in 3 places. Let's see if you can see. Turn it like that. Push it down. And I think this will be my last one right here. All right, so there we go. So that we've got just a little bit of greenery for the base. And that will save a little bit on the floral picks. I already had it around, All right, who's liking this idea so far? So far, yay or nay? Cool, okay. I think you guys are liking it, yay. All right, cool. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I want to angle these down just a hair so you can see what I'm doing. All right, this is where I'm going to try to figure this out. I have never made this before. I know I want to include this really cute, isn't this cute, you guys? This really cute, it's a frosted bird's nest with some little, fake glittery eggs and some pine cones, and I got these from Michael's. It came in a box of 2, and I have one on the top of the tree in the living room, which was part of the tree topper with an owl, and I thought this would be cute to anchor it in because I already, it kind of ties in to the theme of the tree. And then I have some pine cones. So remember, I tell you to always like place things around before you put them into place. So what if I put some pine cones down in here? All right, and then I think I'm going to use some of these poinsettias. So these are not glittered poinsettias, but they're just, you know, like a matte finish, you know, rustic, natural looking. I'm going to put some of these in here. I'm not sure how many I want yet. I'm not pushing everything in yet. I want to just eyeball it. And you want to, you know, spread them out. You want them to grow, look like they're really growing out of it. Make it look natural. All right, and then let's see, maybe this one will go over here. All right, so that might go there. And that's going there. So do you see how I'm just, you know, placing them in there for now just to see if I like it? All right, I think so far I like what I see. All right, so let's take this out and let's go ahead and anchor in the bird's nest. To do that, how am I going to do that real quick? Let me think. I've got these floral picks. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I've got the wooden floral picks. I'm going to cut the wire off at the end. Oh, Michelle, you need to come on, girl. Come on, girl. Organize. Yes, you can come here and organize anytime you want. All right, so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of hot glue on the pick, and I'm going to push it in like at an angle, going this way. And then I need to use my wire cutters to push it in. There. And I'm going to do another one. First, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of hot glue behind the bird's nest on the greenery so that when it comes down on it, it'll be hot glued. Let's see. Put some more hot glue on the end of the wooden pick. Okay, let me see. Now I don't want my, I don't want the wooden pick to show. So let me push it down just a little bit more with another tool. And then when you feel like it's secure, when it feels secure right there, let me just put that up. All right, so now I can see a little bit of the green wooden pick, and I'm just going to put a little bit of the green moss on top of those picks, okay? So that'll just cover up the mechanics a little bit. There. And it's okay if the hot glue drips a little bit because it looks like snow. All right, so I've got that in there, all right? And remember, I've just got the flowers anchored. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put the flowers in. So are we all catching up? Everybody says? Okay. I don't see any comments. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just take the poinsettias out. Remember where I Sometimes if you forget where you mark them, you can take another wooden pick and just hold it there so you don't forget where you put it. And then you want to cut these on an angle so that it'll, you know, have a point to go down inside of the styrofoam. All right, and then you can just remove the wooden pick where it was holding your place and push it down in. If you need an awl, you can use an ice pick or an awl to, you know, make a little hole for you. Because sometimes, so make sure your wire, you know how the poinsettias grow naturally at an angle. You want to make sure to, you know, that you don't have straight poinsettias. That's not going to look realistic. All right. Let's turn that one that way. This is what I've got so far. Now, I'm going to save this guy for later. I don't think I'm going to put this big one in. I was thinking about putting this one in. I'm thinking this might be too big. Let's just see real quick. You guys following along with me? Hold on, the comments are frozen. Let's see. I want to make sure I can see your questions. I'm trying to refresh. Oh, that does kind of look cute right there. Okay, I think I'm going to put that right there. You see how it's sticking out of the top a little bit? I like that. I like that a lot. Sorry, you guys, for the technical difficulties. I like to see your comments. Okay. So if you just tuned in, I'm making a tool caddy Christmas arrangement. And I think I'm going to put this piece right here in the center. Let me trim this off. All right, so here's what we have so far. So this is just a good base with the flowers, and we've got, you know, a focal point over there. I think that's cute, that's cute, that's cute. For some reason the comments stopped. All right, I'll look at that in a minute. Let me just keep on going. So now the next thing I want to do is add some of these berries, but I like, I'm going to use some of this flocking right here. But first, maybe I'll do, okay, I liked these too. Remember, I wanted to use these. So I might put one in there and maybe one back in here. Let me just check this out. That's cool. All right, so to get these, let me see if I want to put some more greenery first. I think I'm going to put some more greenery. I want to add, you know, all of this pine is exactly the same. I want to mix it up just a little bit. So first I'm going to put some of this greenery in here, and these picks came from Sims Pottery. I'm just going to trim that and bend them just a little bit. And use my awl to make a hole. Sorry, you probably can't see every bit of it because it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. Alright. So I added this piece right here. Can you see that? So you see how it's a different texture and it's got the little pine cones back there? Okay, and we don't want to forget the back. Here's another one. I think I'll put the other one over here coming out the back. So it'll be like, you know, one on either side. So what's the weather like where you guys are? Is it, have you started getting any, you know, cooler weather yet? Here it's still pretty warm. I mean, it's every now and then, you know, it was a little cooler a couple days ago, and then we got a lot of rain. I saw some people had snow somewhere. Okay, so I added this one right here. So if I turn it this way, you can see what I've got. So I've got one over here of the pine that I added, and this one over here that I added. So they're on the opposite ends of each other. All right, so now I'm going to add in some of this iced, I think I'm going to add some of this iced branches in, because this will really add a lot of texture. You know, remember I said I had some ice in my, you know, beaded or a fake looking iced grass in the tree. So this will look good. These came from Sims Pottery too, and I just love them. I wish I had bought more. So I added some right there, and I split it in two so that I can get a, you know, more. You know, I think that just using one pick would have been too long, and I've only got 3, so I want to make it last. So I split the picks in two, and I used my awl to make a hole down in the center. And I added one in right there. So I've got one there and one over here. So it's just mixing in, you know, when you add different colors and different textures of the greenery, it adds a lot of interest. It's just, you know, looks better. It's got different layers of coloring. And the crystals on these picks will be reflecting the light, the Christmas lights of the tree, which will be pretty. So I added one right here. I think I'll add one back here on this side. Okay, so I added one right there. Okay, so now at this point, I'm thinking it's looking good. All right, so let me make sure that these are angled down. If these seem too long, I can curl them up a little bit. Ah. All right, so what do you guys think so far? I mean, it almost looks good just like that, doesn't it? You liking it? Of course, my computer's frozen, so I have no idea what you're saying. If you're saying anything, any questions, I'll just keep on going, pretending, hoping you guys are here. Maybe my computer will come to life again. Okay, so now I think I'm going to add these. They look like pine cones, but they're just I think they're paper and they're glittery. So they're supposed to look like pine cones, but they're not actual pine cones. So I'm going to put that, place that down in here. That'll look good. And place one back down in here. And that'll look good. Let's see. Okay. Do I want that? Yeah. Or do I just want one? I think for right now, I'm just going to put one in there. Now, when you guys design, do you do the same thing? Do you just like eyeball it and test it out to see if that's what you like? Because I do that all the time. I always do that. I can't always decide what I want to do. And I just test it out, see if it's something I like. And I've just put a floral pick on this ornament. Actually, I'm wondering if I can go through the bottom. Oh, I can. I'm going to use the awl and go all the way through it, just like that. Put some hot glue on the pick. So let me put a little bit of hot glue underneath it. I'll hold it right there. Just let it cool off a little bit. If you're just joining me, we're making a flower arrangement, a Christmas flower arrangement using a tool caddy that I found at Michael's. This is still not, it's not going in very far, so let me see what I can do. Just going to hold it down a little bit more, let it get glued, let the glue dry. So now I think what I want to do is add in some of these berries, but that's a lot of red. So maybe I'll add in some of the flocking instead, just to see if it'll lighten it up. And then add a few more elements. Like I definitely want to add that ribbon. Don't you think that ribbon will really tie it in for the centerpiece to the tree? That'll look really pretty. So it also, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but I launched a new membership website called the Wreath Making of the Month Club. And every month I'll be coming to you in the comfort of your own home, teaching you how to make a new wreath. So this month, let's see, this month is December. I'm going to be teaching how to make one of those Williamsburg wreaths, you know, with the faux fruit and the big beautiful bow. That will be this month. So if you're interested in joining, I put the link on the top of this video and you can see it after the video is over, and it has, you know, more information on my Wreath of the Month Club. I'm excited about it. You know, I've been making wreaths for like 26 years. I started making wreaths for my own home a long time ago, and then started getting a little more serious when everyone in the, you know, people in the neighborhood were wanting me to make one for them. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try selling this online. And that's how it all began. That is how it all began. I started selling them online and people, you know, teaching, and I didn't realize I had a gift for teaching until I wrote an ebook and was teaching people how to make deco mesh wreaths. Isn't it amazing how God will use you? And like, I never would have known, I never would have imagined that I could teach other people how to do something. I just didn't think I had it in me, you know? So it's amazing how God can use you with your talents to make a difference in other people's lives. So don't ever discount what God can do with you in your life. All right, so I'm just adding, you see how I added some flocking over there? I'm taking the pick and I'm dividing it up, and it is a mess. Literally looks like snow. I wish we would get some snow this year. I might take that one smaller. Here in the south, yeah, we don't get snow. I'm telling you what, if there is even a flurry, I run through the house like a little kid. I'm like, it's snowing! I'm worse than the kids when it starts to snow, for real. I'm so excited because we never see it. I'm sure you guys in the north would probably not hear, you know, you're probably sick of it. You probably don't want it to snow already. All right, let's see. Have you guys started decorating yet for your Christmas? Have you, or have you slacked on getting that tree up? Sometimes if you're doing a fresh tree, you know, you have to wait or else it'll get really dried out. So I'm just putting this stuff in here and there. You see, just like that, filling it up a little bit. I don't want it to be too full. Actually, I think I'm going to trim this one back a little bit. I think that's good. I think that's good. I don't want to lose the, I'm going to bend this down because I just don't want to, I don't want to look for, you know, get the bird's nest to get lost. All right, so now what I'm going to try to do is put the ribbon in. I'm going to wipe up my mess real quick. Okay, so now with the bow, you know, you could do, I've seen them where they have the bow like on the handle right there, and I've seen them, you know, where they've had them down on the side, and this is some really thick ribbon, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use, I don't think I'm going to make a really big bow. I'm just going to probably do a loop or two inside of it to see if that will look good. So I'm just making a loop, and then I twist the other side so you have both of the good sides showing. All right, so now I'm going to find, I wonder if I want to do two. This is really thick. See that? Will that look good right there? I think that's going to look good. Let me see. I'm going to try my iPad over here to see if I can see you. See if I can see your comments. All right, the ribbon came from Carolina Pottery. Christina, I see that comment. Yes, a shot back is needed, Sandra. In a bad way, like yesterday. So I've got a floral pick, and I'm just going to wrap the wire around the, you know, the ribbon. Let's see if that'll work. Probably have to put a wire. The ribbon is so thick, I'm going to have to put a wire on it first. So I'm going to get a floral wire. Yay! Jean, you're going to try to make one yourself? You know, you can always go to Pinterest for inspiration and get some ideas, because they're all over Pinterest. If you just search tool caddy, flower arrangement, or Christmas arrangement, or toolbox flower Christmas arrangement, or something like that, you can see them, see all the different ideas. Trim the wire, and now I'm going to put it on a floral pick. I'm going to wire that around the floral pick, because I need the floral pick to push it down in the styrofoam. And then I'm going to use some of this floral tape and wrap the wooden floral pick. If you wrap the wooden floral pick, around the wire, it will prevent the wire from coming untwisted. I think I breathed in some of that flocking. Probably should have worn a mask or something. That was a lot. That was a lot of. You should have seen my living room. It was a mess, for real. And everybody asked me where I got this little thing right here that I keep all my tools on. I got that at, where did I get that? That Freight. Something Freight in the name. You guys help me out. What was the name? Harbor Freight. That's what it was. I got it at Harbor Freight. It was like 20 bucks. Now you could spray, if you were really caring about what your craft room looked like, you could totally spray paint it, like turquoise or something like that. All right, so let me get this out of the way. just going to separate the pine a little bit and find the styrofoam. Put a little bit of hot glue on the tip. Try not to burn myself. I'm going to trim up the tails just a hair. Now what I probably should have done is had this, because you can't really see the joy or the little sign that was on the front of it, and I probably could have had that on the back. Does that make sense? So I could have had the saying on the back, because when I add the stuff to the front, do you see how it kind of gets hidden? Unless you put it up on a shelf. But mine's going to be on a coffee table. All right, I think that's good. So you see where I added the ribbon right there? Oh, I keep on forgetting. Just right there, I added the loops. And now what I could do is come back over here and add one more loop to the back. And I think I'm going to do that because you want to, it's going to be seen all around the whole thing. So I think I'm just going to do one and not both of them. This is a really thick ribbon. Thank you, Vicki. You like it? It's turning out really cute. Oh my gosh. Donna, your husband makes these toolboxes? Score for you. Yeah, you're going to have to get him back in action. If you guys are liking this video, make sure that you share it. That will help me. There's a little share button at the bottom left, I think. And, number one, it'll put it on your news feed so that you can find it again really quickly. And it also tells me which videos you're really liking. If I see ones that have a lot of likes, I know that I should do more of that style. And so I like to know if you like these videos that I'm doing. And also comment below. I'm thinking about doing some videos in addition to what I'm doing now. Maybe doing a little bit of, creative business type of video, Facebook Live videos, a little bit of Facebook training, or maybe some Pinterest training or something like that. Let me know if you're interested in that. I don't know how many of you on here have a creative business or know of somebody who has a creative business that might be interested in some, free training. Where's my tape? So you comment and tell me that. Thanks, Barb, for sharing. So now remember, I'm wrapping the tape around the wire on the wooden pick. This is a little tricky because I've got thicker wire on it. I'm going to dovetail the ends. So you just fold the ribbon in half and cut it at an angle, and it puts a little, makes a little V on the end. It's just really pretty. So remember I said you could use your pick, your awl, to put a hole in it and leave it there. It'll help you remember where that hole is. And let me put my spectacles on. I just can't believe that it is December already, you guys. Can you believe it? Where has the time gone? You know, it'll be summer before we know it. But let's not rush it because we might have that opportunity for snow. Just saying. Just saying. We don't need to rush it. Trim that ribbon just a little bit more. So there you go. I've added the ribbon back there. So that's the back. All right, I think, let me just I have to step back and look at it. This is really cute. This is gonna be really pretty. Now, I'm gonna see if I want to add some of these berries, because that will also lighten up some of the green space. You know, there's a lot of green. So let me just place these in real quick and see. I'm going to separate them. You see how I always separate? Always separate. Always separate your stems. This is going to add some more texture. So definitely want to add this in here. Hot glue on the bottom of it. And stick that in the styrofoam. And then once I get it in there, I'm just going to spread the berries around a little bit so that they're, you know, not a big clump of them. So I've added berries there. So what do you put on your coffee table when you're decorating for Christmas? Do you put anything special? Do you have anything that you know, maybe something that you decorate with that's handed down for, you know, generations? What do you use to decorate on your coffee table? I have right now a nativity scene that was handed down to me from my parents that they had for the longest time. And it's nothing expensive. It's just, you know, something just to remind me of them. I think those are the best decorations, to be honest. That you don't have to, you know, they're not expensive or anything, but they just bring back memories and, you know, make you remember your Christmas when you were a child. Don't you guys love that? All right. I'm just, I added that greenery right here, and I'm going to bend it down a little bit. That's what I love about silk flowers. You can always bend them. And I'm going to do one more on this side, and then I'm probably going to be done. It's getting a little, full right there, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's going to look cute, cute, cute. All right. Thank you for sharing, Donna. Hold up my wire cutters. Yes, ma'am. These are from Greenlee. You can find these in the electrical department, I believe. But they have lasted forever. All right, so let me just put a hole in the styrofoam. So I'm just going to put it right there. fighting the pine needles because I don't want the glue to get all over the pine needles. Okay, I think, let me see this to go down further. There. Okay. All right, I'm going to cut some of the berries off of that one because there's just, you see how there's just too many right there? It looks too much of a clump. So I'm just going to cut some of them off. I think that's it. Okay, that's cute. All right, I'm going to just take the little berries that I just cut off, and I'm going to hot glue them here and there inside, just on top of the greenery. It doesn't need to go into the styrofoam. So these are the ones I just added. I think we're just about done, you guys. If you're just joining us, we're about to finish up a flower arrangement made out of, this was like a tool caddy, you know, that you used, the old-fashioned toolboxes that you could find, you know, at thrift stores. This one came from Michael's. Now, you know what I want to add? I have this cardinal. I think this is really cute. It's got a lot of flocked on them. The cardinal has a lot of flocking. I think that will look real cute sitting in front of the nest. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can see what I'm talking about. Right here. Don't you think that would look cute just right there? This cardinal actually has a little clip on the bottom, so that will be simple to just clip them on. I'm going to clip them on a branch of the greenery, and then I'm going to maneuver the greenery around so that you can't see the clip. And ta-da-da! Let me get all this out of the way. So you can see the finished product. And comment below and tell me if you have any questions. I want to know if you have any questions. Is this something you think you can do? I think you can. I mean, gosh, if I did it, and I've never made one before. Barb, I'm not sure about Canada. Yeah, that's a tricky, a lot of people always ask me, if anybody ever does start opening and selling floral supplies in Canada, they would make a killing. But I don't know why they don't. All right, so let me make sure you can see it good. Let's see. All right, so here is the front. Can you see the saying on the side? It's kind of hidden, not kind of hidden, but you can still see it. And then I'm just going to turn it towards the inside, and you can see some of the flowers on the inside, some of the like poinsettias, and I've got that little ornament in there, and then the bird's nest and the cardinal, and I've taken some of the flocked branches around. So this is the side, and you can see on the back I've added the berries and the ribbon. You see the ribbon back there. And this is pretty heavy already for the because of the toolbox. But you can see more poinsettias on the back and on the side. So this is really cute. Now, because this is going on furniture, I want to put on my, these are, you know, little, what do you call these, little paddings? The, this is just going to keep it from scratching my table. Sorry about my dog, you guys. Miss K must be in the shower. He barks whenever she gets in the shower, and I'll tell you why. All right, so this toolbox was $24.99 at Michael's, but I got it on sale, probably 50% off. But he barks at Miss K when she's in the shower because when we first got him, she would come out of the shower with her hair, you know, in a towel and scare him. And so now, every time she's in the shower, he starts barking. And she's never, I mean, she doesn't do that anymore, but he just remembers it. It drives me insane. All right, so we've added the padding on the bottom, it's not Velcro, what do you call it? You know, like felt, but it had some sticky padding to it. And so that's it. So it looks really cute. So if you're looking down on it, it's going to look real cute. And we are done. I'm so cute. I just love this. I love this. All right, so you guys, I want to thank you for joining me. And I don't see any more comments. Thanks, Tammy, for joining me. And remember, don't forget to share this. And if you have any questions, you know, you can watch the replay. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'll try to answer them. Sometimes I get lost with there's so many comments, but I try to go back real quick and answer them. But if it gets lost, you know, I'm sorry. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's sometimes there's so many, and I can't find them. So, but anyway, make a comment if you have any questions, and again, share it. And if you want to join my mailing list, go to southerncharmrees.com/blog and click on the, there's a little subscribe thing that will pop down, and you can just join my mailing list, and you'll have tutorials like this emailed directly to your inbox, and you'll, you know, to keep them, and that would, you know, help you. So if you have any, oh, and I have some recipes out there. Oh, and you know what we just added this week? It's a roasted marshmallow milkshake. You guys, oh my gosh, so yummy and creamy. So go to my blog and you can click on recipes and you can see the recipe for that. That is going to be tasty for Christmas. All right, so here we go. That's it. Thanks, you guys, for joining me again. I'm Julie Samaco with Southern Charmrees, and you guys have a great Thursday.